Alright guys, yesterday we have somebody asking how to assemble our crane stock. So I'm going to ask Biggie over here and show us how to put it together.
Okay, well for starters this project will require a certain set of tools. You will need the following: a bottle of super glue, a small screwdriver, you'll need a 4mm Allen wrench, as well as a 1.5mm Allen wrench. You will need these tools to lightly complete this project. To start, you will need to glue the plugs in place. If you do not, you can lose them. But these plugs are purely cosmetic, so if you do, you don't need to fret. To start, it's recommended that you glue the sides. That's around there, and around there. And just a light amount. You don't need to put too much glue on it. It's not that necessary. So just a small amount of glue. You just get your plugs, they just pop right in. You don't need to hammer it, just lightly press it. Make sure you let it dry before you run out with it, or they will fall out. That's for anything that you glue.
Okay.
The next item you'll need is this little spacer. It looks kind of like a top hat.
Which one?
Right here. And that actually is a part of the adjustment lever. You need to take it from the right hand side of your stock and insert it right there. And just push it through. You don't need to glue it in place. There will be a part to hold it on the next step. So for the next step, you have your actual adjustment lever. That part will just go right over the stock. Right there. You want to line up the holes. Your bolt will go through this later. The next step, you want to pick up your bolt and the spring. These two just go together, and in combination to your 4mm Allen wrench that actually hold it in place. And you insert that through the top of your stock. There's a hole right there, and push it through. And you'll see the bottom of the bolt go through here. There's the bottom of your bolt.
Okay.
Fantastic video. Next thing you need is your nut to hold it in place. You see there's a little screw on that. That is your 1.5mm. You just go ahead and thread that onto a bolt. And of course you're going to wonder how much of it needs to go through. Normally I would adjust this to whatever your buffer tube is at, especially if you're using an aftermarket one. In some cases they need to be a lot more shallow. But for the most part, you just get the bolt to match the tip of the nut. And then you secure it with the 1.5mm Allen screw here. There, you've assembled a crane stock. There is a contact plate here, and it fits on the top portion. And you secure it with one of these little silver screws. Once you have these together, you're ready to assemble your crane stock. Now before I assemble a crane stock, I like to make sure everything is nicely wound. This will keep all the wires from getting beaten up on assembly. You can have the Tamiya plug facing outwards with the wires with it. And you can just go ahead and slide your stock over the buffer tube. Once the stock is on, I'd recommend coiling up this wire a little bit more, just a little more taut. It'll this way retract when you do collapse your stock. And the first thing to connect is the negative wire to the contact right here. And you just go ahead and push it on. Push it to the side. Well, after you've gotten your negative wire connected to the contact, it's time to install the positive portion. This one right here. And you'll see the contact is already pressed onto the wire. All you have to do is push it to the bottom portion of the crank stock. Of course, then you get your second silver screw. Hold that in place. Then you want to take your wire and push it on the opposite side of that post where you will be putting a retainer. You have this little black square with a hole in it. You'll see a set of teeth on one end. That is the side that goes into the stock, and that is what holds your wires in place. And now you take the black screw, put that on, and throw it in place. So now your wires should be relatively secure and won't come out. Then you take the fuse and connect it. Then you can check the function, make sure everything slides. Go ahead and connect your battery, make sure your gun's not loaded, and test the function of your gun. And there you have it. We've installed a crank stock.
Alright, thank you.